Hi, I'm Pete Marin with Airbrush Events. You're watching one of 13 videos that I created on how I airbrush caps at events. Now, these videos were really created for my team, so you'll notice the language is directed towards them, but I wanted to share it with you and the rest of the internet. So please comment, like, and subscribe, and feel free to use the designs. Okay, now we're going to be doing design number 6. I'm going to start with the name on this one. It's going to be 5 letters, so if you're going to plan out spacing, just imagine the Y should be in the middle, then 1 letter, and then 1 letter. If you take, I don't know, 3 seconds to visually plan out in your head where each letter will be, counting how many letters and what the center letter is, if there is a letter in the middle of the word, where does it land, that'll help making sure you get your spacing right. Bryce. So I'm gonna center this one right in the middle of the hat. I mean up and down, right? Centered this way and this way. And now I'm gonna do another fade. I keep covering this. Fades are so important to what I do. I know a lot of people don't really worry about fades too much. Hard edge, soft edge. Gonna do another fade. Fade right above the letters, maybe touching the tips of the letters, and again at the bottom. So 1 fade going up, 1 fade going down. Looks like this. So it has a shape to it. It's almost like an arc. It's got that kind of shape to it. Right there. Okay. This is the tricky part. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. We're going to do, I don't even know if there's a word for this design that I'm going to do, but you can do it. The easy way is to use dagger strokes. And I'm standing back so they're nice and soft. Sunburst, maybe you could call it. But the way I choose to do it, and it is kind of tricky, it involves rocking your trigger back and forth, kind of like what you do if you're going to create a dagger stroke, right? But I keep moving as I do it. And this is especially hard because the surface is round and I actually have to start moving my wrists like this. Very tricky. So on a shirt, you could see that the bottom parts here would be thick, the points would be thin. If my airbrush is working a little better, I'd have a finer point on this. Thick, thin, thick, thin, thick, thin, thick, thin, thick, thin. I think you get the idea. You don't have to do the thick, thin. I'm going to do a version of that where I'm just holding the trigger steady. Again, I don't think it looks as good, but you can get the job done. Sometimes, if I don't leave enough space on the bottom to put this, I will leave it out completely. I'll just do the fade. Like say it's like right down here. I'll just do the fade and leave out the sparkle on the bottom. We'll call this a sparkle. But that's what it should look like on the shirt. It might be more uniform, like the points come up way high here, but they're kind of flat here on the bottom. Well, on a shirt, I might actually make them longer. Again, I don't have a lot of room here. If this was a white hat, I would go right over the seam to make it larger. But like that, it's okay. Now, I'm gonna also do a softer fade and a couple of lines for texture. Let me do it over here so I can show you what it looks like. It's a soft fade, right? I'm not going 100% intensity with the color. Probably more like that. And then just a couple of lines to give it texture. That's what it looks like. Now I'm going to cover that area completely in between the two, the blue fades with yellow. When I say completely, I mean saturate it, right? Don't let any white show through. And by saturating it, you're turning all the blue that was once in the middle to green. So even though it looks like I'm using green in this design, it's just the product of blending those two colors together. There, completely saturated. That way the colors look bright. And that is design number 6. Oh, again, alternatively, you could put a drop shadow, but you don't have to. If I'm trying to run out the clock, let's say, adjust my pace at an event, I could start adding embellishments like that to slow me down. And if I want to speed up, I'd do the opposite.